Good evening, squaddies. Welcome to the stream for CCFN 210 on server 1. Tonight we will have on Kokan Valley. We will have, very professional, I know, massive break. On one team we have Black Owls, Fused Legions, Smoking Rifles, and Disconnected. And on the other side we have Bella's Battleground, Exacted, Via Academy, and the 66th Death Corps of Krieg. Just getting the squads ready now, so we should be going live in just a couple of minutes, so stay tuned and we'll have some top quality squad action for you after this. Okay, squaddies, we are just changing the map over now. We'll be live any moment. So, I hope you're looking forward to this. It's the first time I've casted a CCFN match, so it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, let's see how it develops, see what happens. This is the bit where I hope my PC can cope with this. Okay, so it looks like all of the squads are up. So let's get this going, shall we? So yep, as I said in the introduction, we have on the one team, DC, that's disconnected, Fused for Fused Legion, Owl and Smoking Rifles, that's SR. And I have just stopped in the worst possible position because I'm smart. And on the other team, as you can see from this, we have Exacted, BB, 66th, and FA, and by the looks of it, a couple of guests. So, let's get a little layout of the map. Let's put the big one up. Tonight, we are on Kokan Valley, AAS V1. Stonebend, Ruins, Market, Tempest, Grandel, and First Stand. In terms of vehicles, the British are definitely outclassed here with 3 logistics trucks, 3 Bulldog APCs, and eventually a transport truck. The Russian forces, meanwhile, have 2 BTR-80s, 2 BRDM-2s.
Please don't push your Logi forward, mate. That's actually glitching on the server.
And 3 Logis.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry. Cheers, buddy. No, I just don't want you getting in trouble for it.
So, it's going to be interesting to see the deployments. You can see from looking at this, a lot of these flags are quite easy to get to for the Russians. Even Tempest isn't too much of a stretch. But then, yeah. Okay. That didn't work because there's 2 dots.
Fuse guys, we were down to have the engineer on this one, bud, so you're right to jump off of it?
Got him and Petty Monkey in the other direction. Oh, it's always fun. There we go. Order has been restored.
2 sounds, mate. Continue. Okay, yeah, no problem, mate.
So yes, as I was saying, a lot of these first floor flags. English is my first language, believe it or not. Just go with it. A lot of these first 4 flags are quite easily rushable by the Russians. So it'll be interesting to see how the fight develops. There's going to be a lot of action around here.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I noticed that there's no commander selected on the Russian team so far. Let's take a look. And no commander has been voted on the British either. Looks like neither team making use of those assets straight out of the gate, which is their decision. So then,
Yeah, I'll be there.
let's follow the Russian deployment. Out of the gates they go. We can see they're using both BTR-80s and 2 of the Logi trucks. Saving the scout cars and a Logi for a rainy day by the looks of it. Looks as though Owls are heading to a wider position. Perhaps a little short of the other flags, just to see what they can set up. Everybody else pushing pretty well forwards. And if we take a look, eventually we should see some British in the distance. And there they are, heading over towards Market by the looks of it. And we have a commander. So, setting up over here, a little village to the east of Tempest. Got 66 deploying, looks like they're going to be getting a bit of a fob up to attack Market. Aha! And I think that little forward slash means I am live. So you got BV and Exacted, and a little bit of FA down here in the little village of, I forget its name every time, Sarak. There we
boys,
go.
we had a small problem with the vehicle, so we're a little late, but we are coming on the way.
Right, here we go then. Looks like our first proper contact.
Enemy large truck pushing full. They seem to have a large force pushing straight to Tempest.
And that has not ended well for the FA boys. Pretty bad exchange. Let's see if they can recover that, get their people up, get those medics working. BB pushing up on foot behind them, so there's no rest for DC, or indeed Fused, who seem to be garrisoning the north side. Yeah, let's see how this develops. It's going to take a while before this cap is in play.
I think one BTR should move
And here we
to
can
east
see
side of
66
Tempest. We are already at
pretty
that
much uncontested on their little island. Let's have a look where everyone else is.
Yeah, we need on east side.
Small amounts of setup at first stand in Grandel, as expected. Just one back cap for each stone bends and ruins.
Yep.
That's pretty normal. And it looks like the rest of SR
Yeah,
going
mass
to
spawn on
Market.
Tempest. Unless there's a rush for Market. If not, then start spawning Tempest and let's push them hard.
But the Russians absolutely in control so far.
When would like to start pushing?
Even pushing a wide flank down here, Owls. Well, disconnected.
Okay.
Just look after the main southern entrance to Market. Tempest. And yeah, I'm probably going to make a lot of mistakes tonight, folks. I have played squad before, I swear. Now, we need to be careful over here, because 66 are starting to penetrate. It's not much.
I'm gonna smoke the road
There's
so they can't slap.
Turtle's gone.
We have enemies on cap on Tempest.
And now they've called out the contact. They know there's problems. Let's see. Magnus is down. Ray is down. Just one of 66 left to push in. Very little progress over here. Just the one survivor from FA doing
This is the best
a
cover
top
around
tier bush hiding job. And nobody's noticed.
Yeah, I'll help you guys pick you guys up.
And that is a rocket firmly into the side of that BTR. Doesn't look like it was enough to do too much damage yet, but you know, damage stacks up. It takes time. So still a bit of a null area down here, really.
I'm gonna see if I can get this.
Sit trap on the east side
main-
of Tempest too.
The main push has been blunted. Looks like the British are just trying to get a feel for what's going on.
East side of Tempest is...
So if we
it's
take a look a
okay,
little
but
bit
on the left
further
side, but okay.
north, you can see that Market has its FOB up, but is not being captured because there's nobody in the cap. And that is something that SR are going to want to look at.
When do we think engineer kit's going to be released to us, please, fellas?
There we go. One has made it back to the cap, so they can start capping that now. Meanwhile, on the other side, first stand is capped. Grandel shouldn't be too far behind. And the exacted force over here in Serac look like they are going nowhere.
Is the hab mark accurate in Sarak? Do we know?
Is the hab mark accurate in Serac? Well, let's have a look.
BTR got hit by a hab. We're gonna go back to
No, it is not. So as we can see, there's a very stalematey fight going on there. Another stalemate happening up here, really. We've got a couple of troopers inside Tempest now. The Hab's safe for the Russians.
No contacts on our back cap at the minute, but we're seeing infantry pushing from the east.
Over here, just one or two pushing in.
Or any heavy contact on market.
66 trying to get a foothold.
Roger that.
So we can see just a bit of a developing situation. So then, some very strong Russia control over here in this compound. Let's take a look, see what we've got set up. Looks like it's probably just a rally point right now.
We're gonna be needing
it is indeed.
somebody soon.
There's a little BTR sneaking around the back.
The squad one is gonna be pushing up.
Exacted, holding the fort quite well down here.
Roger that. I've just got a
with a little bit of help from the BB Bulldog.
And then we'll load up and push on.
Yeah, try to let them flank.
If that smoke wasn't there, would have.
Yeah, let you
decent
guys
vision.
take that point first at Tempest.
Here's a Lodgy, the cavalry has arrived. 66th getting ready for another push. And let's see, what is Bluebird? Sneaky little engineer boy running up the road, but he doesn't know he's running into a full squad. That's going to hurt when they notice him. If they notice
do
him.
you need help on Sarek? Should
One
my
down.
Should my squad push up?
Nobody's responded.
If you push off now, we risk losing you.
My driver is
The two.
There we go, he's been spotted, so that hab should be fairly safe for now.
Cast available in 7 minutes.
66 starting to push very slowly back in towards market.
I just had one British troop, I assume a SAP, try to go put a mine right in front of our main. Right near the, I think I got him.
Okay, interesting.
I've
Very
got my
interesting.
5 getting ready to push them infantry markers to your east.
Yeah, thank you. And watch out for mines on the roads.
Here's the Owls squad leader. Leave taken by a very sensible Mr. Bear down here in the grass. Let's see. Mr. Bear using the marksman kit to its full potential there. Staying outside, delivering justice where it is required. It's a little bit of fortification, in Serac. Still not too much action yet there.
Do you have a caps on Sarek? Because we really get a push back here in east. And then
If we take a look here though, this push is going very well right now for the British forces. Still nobody inside. Oh no, one person inside the cap, but not enough. Oh, they're really thinning out the ranks, and Shadow King E is getting very close to the hab. Turtle has just spawned in, and a couple of the other folks coming back from DC.
you guys need help in Tempest, guys? I can push my. If you guys just push in from where they're now, from Squad 5, that should be fine.
Meanwhile,
I guess push up
over on the east at
Okay, I
the
can push
FOB
my
set up by
BTR to help
66.
Tempest. Where are they coming from? East?
Well,
I need to deck, I'll cover.
looks like bad news bears for the FOB.
They're pushing you from.
Fuck, Clayton dead.
Though, I may have spoken too soon and Rayan may be able to save
We're
this.
getting overrun on
We
this.
will see.
Yeah, we're getting overrun, Tempest.
Don't give up, I'll try and get you up in a sec.
Rayan quite sensibly just defending that radio.
They're on the enemy hab.
Now there's a BTR sneaking out. But some of FA are pushing back in now, so the SR troops there could be in a little bit of trouble soon. Back to Tempest, and it looks like the British are pretty much in control of the area. However, they have not taken down the FOB.
Line, west of the island. No, east of the island.
And without that,
I'm not gonna try
they're going to
get
really
out,
struggle
try
to
to
get a
Tempest first.
foothold here.
I know, we're trying to get the
They are capping, but capping and holding are two very different things. That is one heavily damaged BTR. It looks to be burning. That'll be a very good shot from
Cast in 3 minutes.
probably Eudaptopus Prime with the heavy anti-tank kit. There's a crewman desperately trying to repair the BTR, but there is an infantryman running up to put an end to that. And there it goes. Meanwhile, the other BTR claims a Logi as revenge. So back to the push on this FOB then. There's a few people inside the hab. Seems like Magnus may not have noticed. Right, let's take a look at Serac, see what's happening here. See, the Owls are making a solid push once again, but Exacted are holding. Taking losses in the process, but they are holding.
Forget about spawning Tempest.
That's what matters right now.
Market now. For you, need to push up north now.
Tempest is in a lot of trouble for the Russians.
Spawn market or not Tempest?
There are British on the FOB, digging it down as we speak. We have Sunder, this Johnny character, and Rum Donkey taking down an FOB and earning 10 tickets for their team. Well, earning a 10 ticket loss for the enemy team, rather. We come over here, we can see the SR have been pushed off this FOB. 66 have taken back control. No, we do still have one or two harassing. Not sure how much they're going to be able to do. However, I missed this.
Spread 1, I currently have a Logi at market with
There's
half supplies
another
loaded, ready to move if you
destroyed
want to try and set an additional
BTR.
habit in the Tempest.
So both of the BTR-80s are down. Back to Tempest then. DC trying to push back in, but they just don't have the numbers at this point. Tempest should still be being capped by the British at this time, because there are lots of them in there.
The squad's be advised, they might be sending combat engineers to go mine the main, so watch out if you ever leave it. Or go back there.
See, there's a lot of forces on the north side of Tempest, but they're not pushing in. And they cannot capture if they don't push in, so... Well, we'll see if that tactic pays off for them, shall we? The push on Serac is all but halted. Probably because of the situation at Tempest.
Guys, they are digging a lot of stuff in Sarak. I think we may need something like mortars or stuff.
There's a little bit of progress happening here. Not too much. There we go. The British have captured Tempest. That's a hefty ticket switch for them. Currently 221 tickets for the
Let's not
Russians
let them
and
turn this into a steamer.
261
If
for
they're
the
quick, they might
British.
mark it already.
You can hear there the Russian command being slightly concerned about the prospect of British at market. Well, they will be pleased to find out eventually that that is definitely not the case, because there is no one near market. Just a scout car, an SR fire team, but no enemy. We come on down to the attacking FOB for market that was set up. See multiple casualties in the area, both SR and the defending British.
Oh, there's two of them.
From various different clans. Let's see how this fares. Magnus running straight past them. It looks firmly under British control for now. So back to Tempest then. Well, definitely looks like they've got their tea and crumpets out at the minute. The British are going nowhere. Most of fused in their little building seem to be down. We've got some resistance coming in on the north from DC, but 66 and BB seems to be defending pretty nicely. Oh, and FA and Exacted. Everybody's here. It's a party. Everything down on Serac has completely ground to a halt now.
Do you guys need supplies down there at Tempest?
Just one or two fine folks still. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing, to be honest. Possibly just trying to salvage some of their losses, maybe. But, yeah, I mean, the fight over Tempest was pretty sporadic, but eventually British got enough forces to just push in and take it. And now we wait and see whether they're going to be content with this third flag and the ticket gain they don't know they have, or if they're going to push on and try and take market. Because right now that scout car is doing a very good job of defending it. Down at the other FOB, it looks like, aha, we have one British soldier rebuilding the radio. Looks like CC from Smoking Rifles nearly took it down, but not quite. A small flanking force pushing back in. Hopefully Tiski will be able to recover it, and if not, looks like help is on the way. The Russians, meanwhile, still struggling to get anyone inside that cap. However, if you look, you can see the UAVs are active.
I'm just hoping them defend.
Let's see if they're going to do anything with them.
Going in UAV.
Got the British trying to extract a Logi, I think. Maybe not. I have been wrong before, and it seems I am wrong again. Yeah, it seems we've reached something of a status quo over here at Tempest for now. British forces content to just defend and stand their ground. Eventually, I would expect these forces from Exacted to start pushing away, because I know what they're doing. They're looking for an FOB over here, but there isn't one.
The radio is accurate. We have disabled it with an engineer.
Oh, have you now? Well, let's take a look. If they mean this radio, no, they haven't.
If somebody from the backup could get us ahead more to the east, that would very much help us. If that's not already in progress.
It's very brave leaving that FOB there at this point.
I can either cast point and get lots of kills on it on Tempest, or I can try and go for the farm.
So Cass is being discussed. Question is, where are they going to drop it? Frankly, it could be anywhere. But they are mentioning either here for the enemy radio, which is indoors and probably not the best play, or here for the kills. And there are quite a few juicy potential kills right here, if they can get lucky with the Cass. And here we go, you see Exacted have pushed off, and 66th and BB just taking a little look around on the south. Apparently a little bit of stutter on my second screen, that's never good. So what has happened to Fused? Okay, there's some of them mixed into this latest push. The Russians finally got a couple of people inside the cap, only for them to not be inside the cap anymore. Or at least not be living inside the cap anymore, rather. 66th, firmly in control of their FOB again. Not sure what's happening here right now. So they're digging it back up once more.
If nobody's gonna get us ahead up for the attack point, I'm gonna do it myself with a few of my guys. We need a help here. We have a help.
Sorry, you able to get that lodge out?
So the ticket's still roughly the same difference as before. 185 for the Russians, 228 for the British. Of course it changes while I'm saying it, but isn't that just the way squad runs? We've got an exacted flank blasting up the west side of the map. And it looks like we're running out of Brits on Tempest. It's an interesting turn of events. They were holding that very strongly before. Exact is starting to get very close to a couple of these rally points. We'll see how this turns out for them in a bit. Fused and DC elements starting to take control of Tempest. The FOB that just won't die is still not dying. And Serac is empty. Apart from one lonely soldier of the 66th. So let's have a look over here. Up here we have, what is this? Got a British Logi running into, well, I can only assume is a combat engineer, I'm not certain. Yep, and so that's not happening anymore. And the cast just arrived. I didn't see the
on
effect.
Tempest if you wanna spawn down here. We got the bad head up if you on Tempest if you wanna spawn down.
Cast bugged out. I tried down on the fob, bugged out.
Is there an ammo back?
That was a good call with Logi as far as finding the ammo there afterwards.
They put the FOB on the exact same spot. I'm not sure that's the wisest decision. We'll see. Once again, Eastern FOB just will not die. Small amounts of shots going out from Market, but nothing too dangerous. And over here, it looks like one of the BTRs is back in action. Yes, it is.
Hello? Hello?
Let's take a look then. 176 tickets, plays 189. But mortars are now in play. The great leveler.
We're taking mortars at Tempest. We're taking heavy mortars at Tempest.
Copy, we are attacking Sarak fast.
Whoops. Accidentally throw my mouse across the room. That's never a good play, let me tell you that. Makes making those difficult AT shots really tough. So the ticket gap has closed quite a lot, and it's going to close even further.
Some commander abilities on Sarak. They dug up really good.
It's going to close even further if Tempest falls to the other
I don't have
hands.
anything available at the moment. Okay, when it's available, tell me.
Asking for commander abilities at Sarak, and
They are
yeah, I
digging
can
up
see
since the start of
why.
the game.
We have a
12 minutes
mortar,
forward.
and a machine gun bunker, and a crouching APC hidden bulldog over here. And that joke would have been funnier if I hadn't mucked up the talking bit.
That mortar, those mortars are definitely at Sarak. Commander, I can get a attack mark on Sarak if you want to drop an Arctic Strike on it.
I don't have an RDO available right now.
The British
when will it be
struggling
ready?
to push back in.
12 minutes.
See if they make any
Oh,
progress.
you already used it, got it.
We're about to have a mortar active.
There we go, the recapture of Tempest made a huge difference to the ticket count. There's now 201 tickets to the Russians against 129 to the British. That is a big... Oh, and there's the British A-10.
But we're gonna be attacked, so you need another squad to get up to Tempest now, from market maybe.
Very little effect,
We
actually.
don't need anybody in market, except for mortars.
It was an interesting approach. I think it may have gone a little off target.
Yeah, 5 push off market. Get to temple.
See the defenders from SR being told to abandon their positions, and quite rightly so, because market is not an active flag right now. So they need to reposition themselves. Now, here we go. We have a little push happening from the Owls. Slowly making their way towards Sarak with the help of a BTR and some mortars. Mortars aren't landing too badly. The enemy mortar's down, which is probably the most valuable part of this right now. They do need to try and get that machine gun bunker. I don't know if they know where it is. Of course, with natural spread, they may just hit it anyway, but the Owls contingent have taken off the gunner for now. Could be fairly free to move in. And here comes the smoke. The signal for a push. Meanwhile, the BTR here taking some heavy damage from an AT. Retreating under the cover of its own smoke as, yeah, BB and the 66th pushing straight back in. They are not going down without a fight on this point. As soon as they figure out that the FOB is where it is, well, that could be a whole thing.
How's the situation on Sarak?
So, Commander just asked how the situation on Sarak is, and the answer
How long until
is
the...
smokier than my backyard. No Russian forces inside as
Guys,
yet.
what's the safe thing to have on Tempest?
8 minutes 40.
Yeah, they just got it broken.
However, no line of sight for the British forces, thanks to those mortars. A little more backup from FA coming towards Tempest, which seems to have been just about reclaimed for now by the Russian forces. Squad's still standing firm on market even though it's not actually in play. They can afford to right now because of the ticket difference, but they don't know that.
Have us back up.
So they really want to be getting themselves down there. And fast if they want to help sustain for this big Serac.
Did their casts work, by the way? Their airstrike?
It's like,
Did the enemy casts work?
Still very
Yeah,
stalemate down here at Serac as well. You've
not
got
sure.
the
Don't know
Russians
about
trying to push in, the British saying a pretty firm and resounding no.
I'm a greedy guy.
British nearly down to 100 tickets. They did eventually lose their FOB over here, whether it was taken down by the enemy or themselves, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, for now the Russians firmly in control of Tempest, the British firmly in control of Serac, and nobody seems inclined to move anywhere. The little bulldog that could has been called into action to support as a second machine gun, it seems.
Squad 4, how's the situation, sir?
We are trying to deal with Sarak, but they really dug down in Sarak. That's right.
I'm not entirely sure what
We will need a commander ability
this...
though, in order to get in. That's for sure.
6 minutes until Harding.
Where are these mortars coming from?
Looks like they were.
If they're coming from SR, they are miles off. To be fair, if they're coming from Serac, they're miles off. Let's see. Yep. Those are SR mortars aiming for the middle of an empty field. You know, I'm sure I will find a deeper understanding for this action later. For now, let's focus on the two main fights where, yeah, it seems everybody's still having an issue pushing in. Ticket gap starting to widen now, obviously with the British only having appears I can't count flags. I thought this was a 6 flag map. It's a 7 flag map. So maybe there is no ticket
Taking
fee in a
orders
minute.
at Tempest again.
66th have and
We're taking orders
BB
at
have
Tempest
joined in the
again.
defence now. Quite sensibly, I think, because, well, they don't really have enough tickets to keep pushing. One of the Owl's forces getting snuck up on by a member of the 66th. And like ships in the night, they pass each other. Got a very, very, very small task force here trying to push into Tempest for all the good it seems to be doing them. Let's see. Where are those mortars heading this time? Looks more like it. It seems to be heading roughly towards Serac.
Squad 4, can I get an update on mortars? Are they landing true?
Well, very roughly
Stand by.
towards Serac. If that bulldog was still parked there, it would be in serious trouble, but they're hitting the empty side of town. That's probably not part of their master strategy. So every take a look at how this round has developed, then you can see the Russians massively ahead in kills and hugely ahead in incapacitates. Some good revive work coming.
We have an enemy vehicle over at
Over here, yeah, see, it's the marksmanship that's letting them down.
It's possibly south.
Now more than
south of,
100 tickets
Tempest,
difference between the two
towards-
teams. It's not unheard of for a combat
My
like
squad's
this.
pushing the island east of Tempest, getting that FOB.
You know, I've seen teams manage it, I've managed it myself. So the mortar is down for now. And here we go, Turtle taking some pot shots at the lads inside. Russian mod's still going somewhere. Are you two going to spot each other? Yes. Not well enough though. Unlucky for that 66th member.
Squad 5, your machine gunners lighting up my guys pushing. Please hold fire.
Machine gunner.
Artillery guys, you're hitting good shot.
Sorry, man.
Machine gunner.
I didn't see you on my map. And,
I had not noticed that. Just goes to show how good this camouflage really can be. So if we take a look back down at Serac, small amounts of progress being made. We can see a combat engineer from SR slowly
Already in 2 minutes.
heading down, and there's the call artillery
Okay.
in 2 minutes. Just over 40 minutes into the round at this point. Quick reminder that CCFN matches are played in 2 rounds, so they will play as the teams they're currently on for a maximum of 90 minutes. Then they will have a short break, and then switch and play as the other team, and the net ticket amount at the end decides the winner.
Yeah,
And
I'm transitioning my
it is
squad
pretty
into
much
attack-
beyond
into
a
attack.
doubt
I'm gonna spawn as
now
rally
that the
and
current
push
Russians
Serac.
will be winning this round. Considering they have forces
Honestly,
ready and
might
waiting
have
their
liked
Grand L
to push
in the
up to
form of that
Serac and
scout
attack
car.
us. We're just like closer and don't need to spawn back in.
And that BTR. They've got some infantry pushing up from the south without really being noticed. Does not look good for the British forces right now.
I think somebody used a bug, Caster.
Okay. Somebody's using a bug.
Oh yeah, I can hear it. It's up here. Grenade, grenade, grenade!
Yeah, I can't see anything,
Nice one.
I'm gonna be honest.
Someone here. Oh. Yeah, don't worry, I have to patch up. Hold on.
Don't worry.
Oh well. Hugo pushing out and cleaning house in that field. 2 more if he can get them, if he's brave enough, if he can live long enough. And no, he was dealt with by one of his own. Interesting firing positions on these walls. Oh, that could be bad. This bulldog goes down, there's another few tickets gone. And they don't have many left to lose. Let's see. Only 5 tickets, but still, that is a quarter of their remaining tickets. And that BTR looks like it wants blood.
Already available.
Oh, those are some very bad
I think
words.
Sark needs to
If
boost.
you're British right now, artillery is available.
For if you use one on the rally and just wait for the RD.
Yeah,
Push in after that.
the Gaudi Bulldog, it's mildly damaged, and I think it's only got the driver and one gunner.
Look at the amount of people on this cab right now. If that artillery comes in and is accurate, well, that would be
All squads,
GG.
be advised, there's a toll on Sarak. There's a toll on Sarak. I marked it.
Roger that, I've got mortars inbound.
And there's the Bulldog again, chasing that... What? Oh
Mortars are
dear.
landing directly. Mortars are... Good job, good job. Keep going.
There's the Bulldog. And there's his drive system. Oh dear. Not going to make much difference now though, is it? Let's see. UAV is up. Will we stay in this long enough to see the artillery? And maybe not if these mortars keep coming in.
Mortars, throw one more. Throw 3 more mortars and then we will push in.
Three
Throw
more salvos?
3 more mortars and then we will push in.
I hope this person has remembered the 20-second travel time. Oh, this is about to get very
Rounds
sucky.
are away, rounds are away.
Not looked up at Tempest for a while, but there's really not
Copy that.
much happening. A couple of stragglers trying to make a difference, but at 7 tickets left. This is definitely round Russian.
Know where
believe
the
the
hub
artillery
is? Is it
hasn't
inside the
rolled in
building on the toll marker?
It is, yes.
Copy that.
I've got
I'm
my
gonna-
engineer going in with you to try and help you.
I'm afraid you haven't. He's dead. But you
I'll
tried.
drop airstrike on Surak.
Here we go. Here we go. 4 tickets. Hold out for 4 tickets and the wait time on the airstrike. Nope. Nope, they're having none of it. The British can sense what is coming with this CAS. And there we have it. Round 1. Russian win by 144 tickets to 0.
GG boys.
So let's get us
No, we
a couple of little screenshots. And there's the CAS.
Very nice.
Right, folks. We'll be back in 5 or so minutes for the second round. I will see you then. Okay, that is the end of the HR mandated break. We'll be underway again in just a couple of moments, as the map is switching now, so give it a little bit and you'll see as your next thing. Round 2 with switched sides. So, to run you through the rap sheet again. Coming in as the British, we're going to have SR, Fused Legion, Owls, and Disconnected, aka DC. As the Russians, we're going to have BB, 66th, Exacted, and FA. But that's enough chatter from me, so let's get into it. That was jarring. Right then. So, to run through the vehicles really quickly again, on the Russian side we have a pair of BTR-80s, a pair of BRDM-2 scout cars, 3 logistics trucks, and coming in 6 minutes, a transport truck. British side, though you can't see them, we have 3 logistics trucks, 3 Bulldog APCs, and joining them in a few minutes, a transport truck. Now, as soon as I'm sure that all of the squads are made and nobody has landed on the wrong team, looking pretty good. I'm just going to wait and see if an armor squad's going to pop up, because I don't want to take someone's number. There we go. Now I can make my little caster squad. And we can get this show on the road.
How many guys you got, Space?
I'm just a nice little corner to hide in. Go into admin camp. And away we go!
My armor's rushing.
So it looks
trying to
like
slow them down at Grandel and First Stand.
it looks like I can't hear myself.
If you want to hop in the lodgy, I have a
Just
decent
going
amount
to
of room.
adjust that a little bit. Right. So it looks like we're going to have all 4 of the armed vehicles and all 3 of the lodges running out for the Russians. Let's go take a little look at what the British are going to do for their deployment. Why is Mr. DC
66, you're
unhappy?
backcapping, correct?
We don't know. Ha. Over here we have
Good luck, squads. Have
1
fun again.
Bulldog and
It's just a
2
game.
lodges in
Have fun.
use. And only 3 squads deploying. Interesting decisions. I'm not going to question it just yet. We'll see how it plays out. Birdie is online as the commander on the Russian forces, so hopefully we get to see some more juicy CAS action and maybe some artillery if it plays out long enough. Remember that the team currently playing is British, so the ones all the way over there currently have a 144 ticket lead. On a map with only 250 starting tickets, that is quite substantial. But I've seen it turn around faster than this. It does sound like the squad's got most of their planning out of the way pre-match, which is always sensible. And we have a very brave decision here. Oh no, there are 2 people in that BTR. I thought it was only 1 for a moment. All the vehicles ready to go, and I'm going to assume, is that a combat engineer I see before me? Yes, taking out a scout car. Sensible. And we can see the 3 lodges. So we're going to follow the Russians out on their deployment and see just how this one's going to play out. Looking at the map, there are some audacious plans. See what happens. Vehicles are getting very close to the map border. A lodgy failing a ramp. It's always frustrating when that happens, especially on this map. But like I Looks like an entire armor contingent heading south. And they're escorting a Logi, because of course they are. We have here. Put my teeth back in. Here we have our first split. But no, all of the armor's still going south. One Logi just heading off this way. First Logi from SR arrives at Grandel with a man at first stand. And another taking a little walk. Bulldog and Logi pushing straight up to Serac. But this is where we'll see the fireworks. Potentially. Looks like they're not even bothering. Have they been marked up? Yep, okay, one of the vehicles got seen. Here we come, ready for the attempt to stop the cap. They're going to try and delay the first flag. Someone's going to have to get out and find him to do that. Or not. Where are they going? Oh well, these are the mysteries. Alright, let's take a look over here where we already have a large contingent of DC pushing up to Tempest. And a comparatively small contingent getting ready to defend it. But, looks like they're getting their FOB up, which is good. Now they just need to get their troops in position.
Alright, we've got long range contacts south of Tempest.
There you have it, long range contact south of Tempest. The vehicle Wolfpack just, well, I don't even know what they're doing. A scout car engineer mining the road from Maine, very sensible.
Enemy ambulance are up.
Just hiding there in the road. Quick rearm and he's back out.
Mortar at market. We can start shelling Sorok. They're setting up mortar.
So the first stand is kept. People likely will be moving up to Grandel, where, well, looks like they've started the fortification there already. Stonebend gets kept on the other team. Next will be Ruins.
Hey, Squad 2, they're on Tempest.
A Logi with a lost engine getting, well, I think that noise spoke for itself from this BTR. They've called it a Bulldog in Serac. If they come up here, they could burn this rally really easily, but I don't think they'll do that. And here we go, the Bulldog moving out. BTR with eyes on. Gunners off already. And the Bulldog doing what Bulldogs do right at best. And running away. Down here we have the other BTR just poking holes into Serac.
Yeah.
But it won't be enough. Serac looks like it's going to hold pretty fine. Tempest once again then, the focal point of all of the contact.
Hey, Squad 2, how's our west looking?
How is our west looking? There is bugger all there, mate.
Hey, Squad 4, you're one guy east. Are we look good over there?
Hugo, that would be, taking a look out to the east. Oof. And down goes a Logi. Couple of survivors.
He says there's no one over there.
Okay, a survivor.
Cool. We just wiped a Logi heading that way. Nice work, Squad 1. Alright.
Bulldog getting blasted by the other BTR. And
Hey,
first
we
one
start
coming up
showing
behind
Rock.
it. If he notices. Yep, there we go. That's what we like to see, some top Quality double penetration on the Bulldog. Mortars firing away already. 1 BTR down for the Russians. That's not good. And 1. Okay. 1 may have... Oh, I was above it. It didn't teleport away at all. The caster is just a moron. Oh well. So, Tempest looking very strongly in the control of the Russians for now, as it did last round. Sirac getting hit very hard from the off, as it did last round. Some Brits pushing up north, and a full squad still over at Grandel, which is not in contention. And probably will not be in contention for a very, very long time. Not entirely sure what Hugo's doing in here. Let's see, what is Hugo? He's a corpse! What was Hugo? Hugo was a machine gunner. Oof. Well, that is going to take more than just a plaster to get out. The mortars hitting Sirac, they're not the best mortars I've ever seen. Also following the trend of firing mortars at an empty field, it seems.
Squad 1, helmet markers to the east, right?
Market has been taken, which means it is time for Tempest to fall. And I'm pretty sure it's falling to the Russians. But the Bulldog! Bulldog running over its own man. Oh. Oh dear. And it takes a rocket in the bum for its efforts. Takes more than that to knock Bulldog out of commission though. They are very heavily armoured little beasts. So, Tempest, we have a small British contingent pushing in. A little bit of resistance here from Mr. or Mrs. My apologies. Grievous. I say resistance. Grievous is just letting the Brits walk past. Again, I'm sure it's all part of a master plan. I just couldn't tell you what. But the Russians are spread very, very thinly. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to concentrate enough to make any discernible effort. Right now behind in tickets, probably due to vehicle losses more than anything else. Mortars here are getting much more on target. You can see the HAB
Squad 2,
is...
you want to get an attack fob?
Well, the HAB is not a HAB. When is a HAB not a HAB? When it's been mortared to death. We've got a full squad of fused over here, plus some owls. Pushing up to try and clear out this compound here, and... it's not on a cap. So I don't understand why anybody's attacking or defending it at this point. I mean, you could take it and push into here from the northwest, but that's a long way off. Okay, it looks like the very, very, very defensive boys are pushing. Let's see where they're going to end up. It's part of this master plan, and something just went bang near main. That's always a joy to hear.
Don't feel scared. We'll send reinforcements. Got it.
So it looks like SR moving to reinforce the defences over here. Walking into that mortar fire like the bosses that they are. And a massive team kill. Oh dear, that's not what you want to see.
Hey, Squad 4, you want to leapfrog and try setting up a fob east of Sirach?
Tempest still holding nice and firmly. Nobody's getting
Do you
inside.
want to leapfrog
I
and
say
set
that.
up a
There's two
fob
DC
east
inside as
or
it happens.
close to Sirach so we can start attacking that? Where Squad 2 is going to do it? There we go.
Almost as many as there are defending it at the moment.
No clue who's doing it.
Squad 1, marking enemy markers for you. Middle row, Tempest to stay, send some guys out. Oh, Squad 4.
Are we holding Tempest right now?
Just north of us
Yeah, we're
again, I
holding.
think.
Holding, Ben.
Alright, we're gonna move to Tempest then, and then we'll
Yes,
let you guys
two
get
left.
the attack.
Garage,
Please.
The
Four
Russians.
5 of you guys. Thank you. 2 guys on
Here come
Hey,
reinforcements.
Squad 2, they're in between me and you. Can you get some infantry on?
The Battle of Slums is still happening, and I still don't know why. Sirach has turned into just a bit of a mortar bun fight by the looks of it. Friendly, I say friendly, British mortars. I've got to get out of the habit of saying friendly when I see SR. At least on Sunday nights. Yes, British mortars being set up and firing. Let's see if we can track where they're going. Probably guess.
We need your reinforcements on the southwest of Tempest. Thank you.
Copy.
Tempest looking very precarious right now. Are they losing it? Yes. Slowly but surely, Tempest is being lost to the British. And that right now would be a big blow. Meanwhile, we have mortars coming in onto Market. And I'm sure that Street is feeling the wrath.
Everyone else, if you...
Squad 2, we're losing Tempest because they're pushing the west. Squad 2, if you can get your guys to him from behind, they...
Exacta getting a bit overrun now by Fused, and everybody in here getting a bit overrun by the Brits. If these BB respawns can push in. Nope. That is a negative. So what's happening over in the east? Got a Bulldog just driving around. We have a small group of infantry playing Dodge the Scout car.
Squad 4, once you come in the east side,
And another scout
enter
car
through the east
pushing
and
in. An engineer playing Plesnosimi. And a BTR redeploying. Currently 251 tickets to the Russians and 267 to the Brits. Remember, the Brits have a 144 ticket lead from the first round. So there's a big deficit that the Russians here need to overturn. Got mortars landing in the middle of a field again, but the UAVs should be available-ish.
Mind it. Get ready to step a defensive market, I guess. My flanking squad was a bit slow on Sarah.
Looks like the
Gonna take out that
FOB here is soon to be no more. Which means Tempest is soon to be no more. That is very, very not good. Added to the not good of losing that scout car, it's another 5 tickets down the hole. And with a combat engineer wandering in, I mean, he's not going to have an easy time getting to that radio
BB,
at all.
can you send that BTR to try to cover the hab on the east side of Tempest? Maybe you can kill the guys covering it. I don't think the fort's damaged. I think the hab's got 2 guys stopping the spawn, yeah?
Yeah, I'm on it. They're digging radio right now.
Well, he's pretty accurate there, but they are not digging the radio. Oh, okay, yes they were. Commentator's curse. The radio goes boom. A BTR goes boom. And, well. Tempest goes neutral. This is a big swing. Because if the Brits take Tempest now, they'll be up at 286 tickets compared to 170. That's bad.
Is any artillery barrage or airstrike available to be put on Tempest?
You know, I said he was going to struggle, but I'm not.
A10's only gonna yeah, be I have an SU-25. I'm gonna put on there if I find their fob.
He's digging, and the commander can hear. Well, always check the hab first. Not that it matters, because they're going to take Tempest anyway. They don't necessarily need those 10 tickets right now. This long-range fire is absolutely devastating. Who is this machine gunner? Hello, friend Luovis. Some magnificent fire coming out. Let's have a look at him. 8, 0, and 15. That is the mark of a good machine gunner. Pure, unadulterated suppression, destruction. My hat is off to the guy. Apologies for that, because I had to take a very quick drink. It's thirsty work watching all this death and destruction. Looks like we have a nearly destroyed Bulldog. Seems to have come a cropper of a tow, I think, but I don't know where it would be set up. And you've got to feel bad for the Russians, because they nearly had a breach into Serac right there, but no dice, not quite. And there goes Tempest, and you can see more than 100 tickets difference again. The Russians now very nearly don't have enough tickets to pull this back, which is a shame. But let's hope they can give a good account of themselves anyway. But if we look at the sheet again, it's the same situation of just better marksmanship on this side. So what have we got down here? We have Fused pushing in on foot. Trying to meet exactly. They're still not fighting on the cat.
We're still holding.
But whatever works for them. If they had been fighting on the caps, they could take Tempest back. Something I'm sure they will think about after the match.
Also, I can't find a Logi truck or a fob anywhere on Tempest, so I haven't called anything yet.
Can't find a logic
Very good ready
or a
points,
fob
Noel.
on Tempest. There's a very good reason for that, Mr. Commander. There ain't one. There's not much on Tempest, to be honest. There are owls on Market.
Alright, all squads be advised. Squad 2 and my squad has managed to remove the fob on Sarek. And then we can try and do a counter attack on Tempest, and then they've got no fob at Sarek, okay?
Let's have a look then. They say they've managed to remove the fob on Sarek, but they have not.
That there's still a lot of infantry defending Tempest.
They aren't even
They
close.
don't have a fob set up there, though.
We've got to outshoot them, get the artillery barrage on them, and then destroy their rallies.
It's ready whenever you guys want to call it in.
They're getting closer.
25 and artillery in 6 minutes.
Copy that. And market's fine, yeah? All those helmet markers?
We're holding for now, but it's getting hit pretty hard, but we're not losing the cap at all.
Okay.
Okay.
So if we take a look around Serac, you'll see there is no backup rally nearby. Could prove to be a mistake. Let's see if the Russians can capitalize. They're on the hab.
Did we find the fob?
Not the radio, but I'm gonna dig out the hub right now. I'm tired of
They've
fucking.
not found the radio.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, it's right here.
So, I'll pick up
I've walked past it a few times. Oof. The poor bulldog has done nothing to them, but it is worthy of the punishment, apparently. So let's take a quick look back at the mini war happening on the west side of the map. Fused and Exacted still having an argument over, well, I say an argument. I think at this point it's more just a heated discussion. Tempest fully in control by the British, and Market being slightly contested, but not too badly.
Nate, be careful, be careful, be careful.
I have to admire man's balls there. He tried. He really did. But here come the owl respawns. $86 tickets.
Oh shit, I thought you were on market.
Left.
Alright, we'll just go for the kills then, guys. It's been a pleasure. We'll try and.
You guys can cap Tempest. We're still holding market.
Okay. I was just reading it all check there. My guys come storming in now.
So one person says we're losing market, one person says we're holding it, and then I hear from the same squad, there are so many guys on the north, and he's... Oof, I should have put my phone on silent. My sincere apologies.
Where you are.
Dear warriors. Looks like the rally has gone down for owls. And the last few getting shot firmly in the back by Commander Birdie himself. You know, it's bad when the officers have to join in with the fighting. It's like we had a little micro push onto Tempest, but it's gone nowhere. Another micro push in the south, taking, you know, a few people with. The Russians are completely in control of Serac and the FOB down, but it's not capable. And here comes a Logit's Tempest, finally. It looks like the fob's already up, so maybe it's just spare supplies. So, 68 tickets to the Russians, 203 to the British. It is not looking good for 66th BB exacted and FA. They have tried. Fuse now have complete control of the pointless compound.
Good job holding my guys, by the way. Good job.
And the banter in chat gets real. We have a very damaged little bulldog here, popping a little bit of smoke. Doing what it can. As Owls prepare another push onto market. Just shy of a squad pushing in. 2 squads defending. Let's see how it goes. An interesting rocket. Good callouts there in local of people south. And there are indeed people to the south. A lot of them are dead, but they were people once. What's happening here? Small fused huddle. Taking down what I think may have been a radio. Here comes that scout car again. 46 tickets left. We are 32 minutes into the round and I've not seen a tactical strike yet. Which is a little bit sad. No UAVs in the sky or anything. It is a shame. I seriously have no idea what Fused are doing. To be honest, I'm not really sure it matters at this point. Bulldog is repaired. Wait, no, that's a different Bulldog. Bulldog is not repaired, it is smoking like a chimney. As we've got a small Russian force hunting around the south side of Tempest. They might push in eventually. Owl's making another stab over at Market. This time the scout car's got their number. And down goes a Logi. That's 5 tickets that the Russians couldn't really afford to lose. Wait, was it? They killed their own Logi? Yep, that's definitely a Ural. Not sure why that's happened. They might trade it for another one. There we go. If Fused were actually interested in rejoining the fight, they could be all over market right now. Looks like they might be mounting up in the Bulldog, getting ready to go. Got BB holding the north for the most part. A lot of Exacted in the south. Little skirmish line drawn up all along the road, which is always nice to see. You want to see people, you know, spread out, covering all of the angles. Here's a scout car again, heading a little too close to danger, I think. Commentator's curse. Fused have started pushing in, but they have been seen by BB. And are getting shot by BB. Okay. Nice, Bloody. However, that will be worrying for the Russians. Al's getting a major foothold in the south. They're not in the cap yet. They seem to be consolidating their position. Getting everybody up, ready to fight. But with very little defense around the FOB itself. One solid push would end this game.
I didn't know it.
Oh. What the? Fucking shit UI design. That's all it is. Fucking hate OWI.
Oops. Just gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
Good guys, tell you guys to bleed out. Thanks for the game.
Fused up
Good
here.
job holding market after all this time.
There's nothing there for them to find. Of course they don't know that. And here we have Al's making that final push. So that is an overall win, as I said, of 309 tickets. Thank you very much for watching, folks. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.